My name is Landry Phipps, and I will be going over 8 powerful statements that represent my growth and the most important things that I find valuable when being a teacher. With these approaches, I believe any teacher can be successful in their journey. As I start my student teaching, I want to take these 8 ideas with me in the classroom, starting with socioeconomic status. In this picture, you find a handsome, put together, well provided child. In a school with students like this, you will find that they are financially stable and have quality resources and many opportunities. While students who are considered in the lower level economic status, they struggle with poverty, early development, and deal with stress and mental health because of their home life. As teachers, we need to treat every student as equal and not show any favoritism because of their class. It's our job to encourage a sense of belonging for every student. To do that, we must build relationships and provide support. Students may not understand what socioeconomic status is, but depending on where they stand, it can often lead to bullying. Bullying has grown rapidly, especially through social media, which has now led to cyberbullying. This has made it simple for students to spread negativity and chaos in schools, and without the safety and security of students, children will have the freedom to text, email, or post anything. With that being said, cell phones have become a distraction. Bullying still exists outside of just a phone. Bullying often takes many forms. There's verbal and physical. For example, verbally, students will name call, make fun, tease, and spread false accusations. While physically, students can get their property damaged. There's pushing, there's always kicking, and there's always punching. We must stop. As a teacher, we need to take action. We need to educate our students on about bullying, starting at a young age. We also need to guide them to having a positive mindset, and we need to make sure we are being a good role model for them in the classroom all the time. Bullying is unacceptable, which leads to positive reinforcement. Many students have a rough home life and struggle to have a relationship with a parent, or they struggle with bullying, or even lack of sleep. All of these can alter a student's behavior. However, with a positive reinforcement, a student's attitude can change in a matter of seconds, creating thrill and excitement. What is positive reinforcement? Well, it's adding any reward. And no, I don't mean giving them the Vince Lombardi trophy. No, I mean adding a reward to increase one's behavior. Let me break it down. If you add something positive, the individual associates the behavior with a pleasant experience. The association makes the behavior more likely to be repeated. Now, obviously, you can't give a child candy every time that they do something good. You have to mix it up. Use verbal praise, give them a high five, or call a parent to let them know that their child is doing good. People love that, but also mix it up. Don't give the student positive reinforcement daily, do it every once in a while. Let's talk about James Marcia's 4 identity statuses. Each status is a point in an adult or even a high school student's life where they're actively trying out different roles and making decisions on what they value most. However, that can be stressful on a student. Clearly, that requires more thinking than deciding what they want to eat. I mean, think about it. There are so many careers, so many kids are often told to make a decision sooner rather than later. But that's not true. They should make their time figuring out what they want to do and not feeling rushed. We as teachers need to provide that support and to help them find their passion. None Now, of course, we don't want our students to choose a career in the movie theater cleaning up popcorn in the aisles. We just have to be patient with them because they are still growing and maturing. As teachers, we want our students to be in the identity achievement stage. As a high school teacher, we need to be ready for students to be more expressive and trying to find their sexual identity. This can be very scary because high school kids try to find their role if they feel like they are gay, bisexual, or straight, and so much more. We need to make it a safe place for students in the classroom. Now, we do not want to have a collision at home plate. We want it to be safe. This should be no different when communicating to students about sexual identity. That means not showing any emotion towards sexual identity and being careful with our choice of words. Whether or not we agree with our students' decisions, we have to keep our personal values to ourselves. Let's talk a little bit about parent involvement. To little kids or any kid at any level often view their parents as their role model or even as a hero, which is very important. And most of the time, most parents don't get to see their kids all the time because of their demand of their job. As teachers, we need to connect and communicate to the parent, but get them involved with volunteering and helping their child learn from home after school. Statistics have shown that more parent involvement often leads to higher success. Let's help their parents have an impact on their child before it's too late. Make them feel like they still have to take care of their child. Now, in the classroom, many students can be more developed than others. With the students who often struggle with curriculum, usually need more support from their teacher. With scaffolding, teachers can provide temporary support to learners as they are introduced to new concepts. After a period of time, the teacher can provide less and less guidance as the students master new skills, just like riding a bike. When you teach your kid to ride a bike, do you let the child just go and say good luck? Of course not. You provide support so they can learn the skill more sufficiently rather than failing every time the child gets on the bike. You have to teach every step. With scaffolding, it is a great teaching method that will keep the students who struggle the most from drowning. However, as a teacher, everyone should include scaffolding, but in order for that to work, you need to provide challenging, difficult, and realistic tasks because students need to learn. And lastly, emotional development. Many kids from elementary to high school struggle with controlling their emotions. At a high school level, students might be still hitting at puberty, and their behavior often affects their ability to work. Which is why, as teachers, we need to be cognizant of their emotions and social cues when we need to always be observing.